Today is squat day. It is leg day, and we are doing kind of like a power building program right now. You could say it is all legs, so it has that bodybuilding split feel. But we're gonna start with some lower rep stuff, so we are still working on strength. We're gonna start in the 5s, then we're gonna work to the 8s, and then we're gonna finish in the 15s. So we're hitting a broad spectrum of rep ranges. It's a really good way to both build strength and hypertrophy. So right now we're gonna jump into a quick, brief warm up, get our body loose and ready to squat. Then we're gonna get into squats and a bunch more. All right, so we just finished high bar squats. So this is a more quad dominant. You'll notice my stance was kind of close. Bar was set up high. This is our compound lift of the day. We're doing sets of 5. Over the weeks, we're gonna lower our reps in reserve, which is gonna allow us to increase our intensity and our overall load. So we're just trying to linear progress on the load of the back squat over the course of 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how long this block lasts. Now we're getting into RDL. So we just finished our quad dominant movement. Our next leg day of the week would be a deadlift as our compound lift, but today is a squat. So now our first accessory of the day is gonna be a stiff leg deadlift. We just finished stiff leg RDLs for sets of 8, sitting at about a 2 RIR, leaving like 1 or 2 in the tank towards the end. Really just focusing on that big hamstring stretch. It's like a big motor unit for movement for the hamstring specifically. Now we're gonna get into a little bit higher reps. So we did our 5s, we did our 8s, now we're getting into our 15s. So a little bit more based on mechanical tension and metabolic fatigue. So this is where the muscle just feels like it's just burning and we're kind of pushing it to that extended point, where the earlier stuff was more neurologically fatiguing. The sets of 5 were really heavy, my quads were fine. Now my quads are gonna be smashed. So we got sets of 15 walking lunges. So as you can probably tell, we're going in this alternating fashion. We started with a heavy neurologically demanding quad dominant movement. Then we went to a neurologically demanding and fatiguing hamstring dominant movement. Now we're going back to walking lunges, which we just did. We went back to walking lunges, which is quad dominant again, but from a metabolic fatigue perspective, because we're going to 15 reps. And now we're doing the same theory, but with the hamstrings again. So now we're going back to hamstrings with the goal of creating as much mechanical tension and metabolic stress fatigue as possible. What we're gonna do is the glute ham raise with strict form, 5 to 10 reps, leaving 1 to 2 in the tank so we don't cramp up. But the goal here is to create maximal tension in the hamstrings, just body weight, that's all you need. Now we are done with all the main movements of the workout and we are going on to the finisher. Truth be told, there is no finisher. I just like throwing these in on some of the days, honestly for a mental push. So sometimes it's good to throw this in when you think you just had enough, doing something that's not gonna be too damaging systemically, like the sled, which is what we're gonna get into, because there's no eccentric phase, there's no loading on my spine. but it's really draining and it's really a hard push and it's a mental grind. And because of that, we're gonna throw that in with our ab work at the end. So we're combining sit-ups with sled pushes, really heavy, down and back on a 25-yard turf. Let's get it.